about. Okay. Presentation. Okay. All right. Can you guys see that? Okay. Okay, so my name's Alicia Ladow. I am the EdTech coach at Pisgah Forest Elementary and Rosman Elementary. So me and my teammate Elise Shepard are going to be leading this presentation. We're going to try to switch about halfway through so you can have a little bit of both of our knowledge. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is really an awesome differentiation tool. So I don't have to tell you guys how you have so many different students in your classroom, ones that are amazing readers already and really reading to learn, and then those that are still working on foundational reading skills, even, at any age. So being able to tailor instruction and materials to all of those kids is really challenging. I remember that from when I was a teacher. So some of these new tools, especially ones with AI features, are really starting to come in and provide a lot of assistance that I wish we had when I was teaching, just to really help you save some time. Okay, so what actually is Diffit? So this is a super short video I'm going to play for you just because she does a really good job of explaining it in a nutshell what it is. It's just like a minute.
With Diffit for Teachers, teachers can put in a topic that they're teaching or use existing content, and Diffit will create student-ready resources in minutes. Here, I've put in the topic carbon cycle. I can choose the language that I want the resources in or the reading level. Let's go ahead and select 5th grade and select Generate Resources. Just by putting in carbon cycle, selecting a language and a grade level, I've now got a reading passage where I can select and see the sources that it used to create the reading, a vocabulary list, multiple choice questions, short answer questions, a think, pair, share for students to complete with an open-ended prompt, and this suggested activity of a flowchart map for students to work on. All of this I can edit and change or modify to meet the needs of the students that I'm working with. And once it's just right, I'm able to export to Google Docs, Forms, Google Classroom, Microsoft Words, or download as a PDF. I can also translate this resource into over 70 languages or change the reading level. We know teachers might already have content they want to use in their classroom, whether it's chapter books and novels, article links that they use, PDFs, or a vocabulary list. You can start with content you already have, and Diffit will create resources for you. At Diffit for Teachers, we hope to make it easier for you to make high-quality student-ready resources for content you already have or topics you're teaching tomorrow in class. Give us a try and let us know what you think.
Okay, so I think that was a really good overview of what Diffit is. So what exactly is it? It's a web-based platform. It lets you take any text, something you wrote, a web article, a PDF, and instantly create different leveled versions of that reading passage or text that you put in. It has summaries, vocabulary lists, and comprehension questions. And it generates that all from the text. You don't have to put in like what vocabulary words you want or anything like that. Literally all you do is put in either the link or the PDF or whatever your reading material is, and it generates the rest of it. So like I said, it's super simple. It also, gives you materials like questions, and yeah, it's just super fast. And I love that you're able to customize what is on your screen. So it will generate all these things like you can see on my screen. And you can actually click on that page and backspace and make any changes you need to before you even export it. So it actually took me a little bit to find that feature, but so it's not like you have to download it and then open it up and edit it later. It's all right there where you can take things out or add it as you need. So let's look at, okay, so disclaimer, there are two different versions of Diffit. So there is the free version and then there is a premium version. Now, the free version is awesome. We are not suggesting that you buy the premium version. It's like $15 a month, which I feel like is kind of a lot. but the free version does everything that I think you would need it to. So it still adapts any text, URL, uploaded document. You can choose the reading level from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade, and then it still auto generates those leveled reading passages. And you can even adjust the length, which is really cool. I'll show you that in a minute, but you can tell it if you want it to be like a long reading passage, like 5+ paragraphs, or you can even say shorten to like 1 to 2 paragraphs. So all that is included in the free version. Vocabulary, multiple choice, short answer, open-ended questions. There's some activities like think, pair, share that it will give you, it'll like show you like, this is premium content. But the meat of it is free. The extra stuff, we are good. We don't need to spend $15 a month for that, unless you really want to. You can still edit and adjust all those outputs right in Diffit. One thing I did want to mention in that little video, it said that you can export to Google Docs, Google Slides. Well, that is a premium version. If you're on the free version, you are going to export to a PDF, but I feel like that is still really the basis of what you need. Because like I said, you can edit it on the website. So you get it perfect, then you can export it to a PDF, and then you can stick it in Google Classroom or print it or project it or do what you need to do. So that is just a very small limitation that I don't think is a big deal. Okay, so how to actually put in your content. When you go to the website, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute, it looks very simple. There's not a lot of things that you have to click or choose. Like there's literally just this one box down here, and there are 4 tabs on that box. So the first one is, it says literally anything. And that's where you can start with a blank canvas. So you don't actually have to have a reading passage for if you were to choose literally anything. You could say, like over here, it says quickly generate background knowledge for a new unit on mitosis or the Civil War. And then you could say, and make this on a 9th grade level. And you could add more details in there. And then once you have generated that, you can play around with how long you want it to be, what other grade levels, whatever levels of that passage you would like. So if you want it in a couple different reading levels for your students, you can do that. So that's starting from literally nothing, just your ideas. So you can also do an article link. You can paste a URL from any website or news source. So I think this is really good for a couple reasons. If you were to send your students to like CNN or somewhere to read an article, there's a lot of ads that your kids are going to see. And then people can also comment on news articles, and that may not be the content you want your kids to read. So this is a good way to just kind of clean this up and give them just the content. And then, of course, you can level it to where your students are needing that. So you could even take something from a news source and bring it down to elementary level. So you can also do text or PDF. So you could just copy and paste something on the internet, just right in there and do all those things with it. You can say differentiate a reading passage from a school purchased resource. So thinking about in elementary, we do CKLA, the curriculum, and I was looking around on the website, and there are some PDF options that you can download for like the student workbooks. So there's potential you could do that if you wanted to. PDF works really good. Like out of all of these, uploading a PDF is super solid and easy and quick. And then the last one, book. So I put a little star here because, disclaimer, on the free version, you can only do chapters 1 and 2 of the book. And I should say first, there's a vast library of books. Like I typed in James and the Giant Peach because that was something I always did in 4th grade. And of course it had it. Now on my free version, I could only find summaries and all that information on the first 2 chapters. So something Elise is going to share a little bit about, if you were to go to Diffit today and create an account, it is going to put you on a premium account for 60 days. So you could kind of look ahead at your curriculum and say, okay, I always do this novel. It's not for a couple months. but you could go ahead and find all those resources on all of the chapters and download it and do that with a lot of different stuff while you're on the premium version. And so that could be a good way to kind of stock up your library that way. Okay, I'm going to try to go quick because I want to show you the website too. So one last thing, like it said earlier, the translate feature is so simple. Like there's just a little thing in the corner that says language. If you click on that, it says 68 languages that you can translate it into. And what I like about it is putting it into the exact same words and like depth of questions that the other students are getting. It's just in their home language. So it's not like simplifying everything. It's just making it accessible for those students that aren't currently able to read in English to their reading level. So you can see down here, I just made a little polar bears and penguins thing from an article I found. And then this is the Spanish version next to it. So they're like identical, just in a different language, which is really cool. Okay, so this was a quote on the website, I think. This is not a subject tool, it's a literacy and access tool. So Diffit is not just for reading passages or teaching reading. It is enabling students to access the curriculum, access the materials they need, even if their level is not quite the same as their peers. Because in elementary school, like you start, after you learn to read, then you're reading to learn. So students that are not at that level, that's really hard on them because they are not able to get all of that same information that other students are getting. So this is an amazing tool for that. Okay, I'm going to try to give you a really quick overview of the website in 2 minutes. So I'm going to go to Diffit. So this is what it looks like when you log in. I'm going to say try Diffit. And this just took me straight into my account, which I'm on a free one. So I am going to, right here, I am going to click PDFs. And then I'm going to upload a PDF that I found earlier on Jane Goodall. There's lots of information about her. I'm going to put that I want it on 5th grade and English and pages, and we're going to generate. So super fast to generate, like you can see. While it's generating, it gives you some tips like looking at citations, how you can use this to build background knowledge so kids are better prepared for different activities. And it takes just like a couple seconds. And as soon as you generate something like this, it's going to automatically go in your resources, which I'll show you where that is. Okay, so you can see here I have my my information on Jane Goodall. It took the PDF that I gave it and used that information to put it on a 5th grade level. Now, while I'm in here, I could change the reading length to any one of these. So I can make it long, medium, short. I could actually modify the reading, which is really cool. You can add more details. Like if I wanted more details about like her just like her life, I could put that in. If I wanted to remove information, I could. I tried that earlier where I said like remove information about her working with this certain doctor, just because it might be like over some of the kids' head. And it will do that. And then as I scroll down, you can see this is a pretty long article. I have a nice little summary down here at the bottom. Then I have a vocabulary page. So it pulled these vocabulary words out of the text. And I can add more vocabulary words if I want to. Oh, it's actually going to like automatically give me more if I want to. I can take them away. And like I said, like I can click in here and delete, add stuff, whatever I need right in there, which is, I think, really awesome. So if I keep scrolling down, I have multiple choice questions. And then I have short answer questions. And then I have a think, pair, share. It's giving me a nice little preview, but we're fine. We don't need to think, pair, share. We're good. And I can go up here to add more questions. I can even change the reading level of just the question itself. I can bump that down. I can change how many I want, and it will just add them right in there. So real quick, up here at the top where it says English, this is where I could go and do Spanish, and it would quickly generate the exact same information just in Spanish. This is also where I could change the reading level I wanted. So I could bump it down to first grade, and it'll give me a short little passage about Jane Goodall and that information, but on a first grade level. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so last two things. You would, once you're starting working on this, it's going to show up right here in my resources. And that's even before you export it or anything. So if you wanted to share this with your students, you would go to export, download PDF, print. You can also copy the link and share it with like a team member, somebody who might be doing the same thing. So you could be on the same page with that. And there's one more thing I was going to say, but there's starting to be like a library of passages and information that other teachers have already generated that you can go to and see what they have done and copy theirs. So that's pretty cool. You don't even have to start from scratch there. Okay, sorry, Elise, I went 3 minutes over.
It's okay. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Elise.
Okay. Let's get my screen up there.
Oh, let's get mine off.
There we go. One second. Oh, why can't I make my screen big? Let me.
If you go to share, can you make it full screen?
One second. Sorry, y'all.
And while she's doing that, you can kind of see in the corner of the presentation, I put the bit.ly so you can access this information after. You can go back and reference it.
Let me drag it over here. See if that will work.
I think it was like bit.ly.com/TCS Diffit, maybe.
Okay. There we go. My apologies about that. That took a second. Okay, so I'm Elise Shepard. I'm also an ed tech coach. I guess I'm going to be going super duper fast, but that is okay. This first slide that you see up on your screen right now is a workflow slide, and we put this in there in this presentation to be a reference for you guys to look back on. Once you do have a chance to get in and look around in Diffit, you can look back on this, and it will take you step by step through the process that Alicia has already showed you. And I'm going to go through it one more time, but I'm also going to be talking about how we can use this in different subject areas. The first time that I came across Diffit, I immediately thought of the science classroom. And I thought that it would be good just to walk through a good science example, because when you're, depending on where you're at, what grade level, if you have a set curriculum for science, that's great. But if you are constantly looking for and pulling different resources from different places because you don't have that curriculum or that textbook there for you, Diffit is a great place to look to find some really high quality resources. Okay, so here's your landing page. Like Alicia has already showed you, you're going to, it's a very easy, like user-friendly interface. We're going to operate right here under literally anything. And then like she showed you, you can put in a resource you already have, like she had her PDF in there. My favorite thing to do with Diffit is to type in a standard from my content area, and then include some key details or maybe some key vocabulary to go with that standard to build my passage. And so I'm going to select my language. I'm going to select my reading level. And then over here where it says align to, if you are enjoying a 60-day free trial, you can just click on this drop-down arrow and find your standard. You don't actually have to paste it in, but pasting it in is a great workaround if you are operating off the free version. And so for this example, I was thinking about my 5th grade friends in science, so I pasted in a 5th grade standard about ecosystems. I put in some key vocabulary to go with it, and it generated this article for me. One of the things I love about Diffit is it always includes these great supporting visuals, which is really great for science. It's really great for social studies, to have like a good map, a graph, an infographic up at the top to go with the information in the article, to help students understand. And then, true to its name, Diffit, you can easily differentiate several different aspects of what the free version will give you. So when it comes to your text, you can click on modify reading content, and you can add in more specific details. You can remove any information you don't want, and then you can really tweak those vocabulary words to have all the terms in there that you want in this article to go with that concept. The vocabulary is great because you get not just this list of words, you get the part of speech, you get a definition, and then you also get a user like kid-friendly sentence showing, exemplifying what it means. And then again, a lot of tools you can level your text, but it takes it several steps past that by being able to modify the complexity of your vocabulary. You can increase it for your students who are above grade level. You can decrease it for students who need that extra scaffolding to get to where they need to be. And then you can also decide if you want to change these words and just focus on some academic or content specific vocabulary. I love getting the comprehension questions. Those two you can modify. You can increase in complexity. You can decrease in complexity. These are great to have as a warm-up or as an exit ticket or as a formative assessment to kind of see where your kids are at, especially if you're doing this based off standards. So it can also be sort of a formative assessment as well. And for sake of time, I'm not going to go too far into the different ways that you can modify it, but it is so nice as an instructor to just simply click and have those different areas you want to tweak and differentiate instantly happen. Like Alicia said, this would have been so nice to have in the classroom. I'm a big fan of the short answer questions. Unlike the multiple choice, these are probably a little bit higher level critical thinking, higher order thinking level questions. They would be great to include for like a small group discussion or a jigsaw. And again, you can modify those. You can pair up some students and increase the complexity in one group. You can decrease the complexity if you have some who need that extra support. And then in addition to the short answer questions, there's like a few more modifications that you could make. If you click on your little 3 dots right here after it has generated your activities, you have some options to show answers or hide answers. So again, a great way to scaffold for your kids, depending on the assignment. You could put the answers on there, use that as your safety net, have it posted somewhere in your room where students can go and look at it after they've answered their question and see if they're on the right track. And then it also saves time for you as a teacher. You don't have to go through and find all the answers yourself. You can simply show them or hide them. And then you can also show and hide answer lines, which can be really nice for grade level still working on handwriting, which I know for some is always an issue. It fits very easily into the social studies classroom. There's some cool things that you can do with social studies. I've been thinking about my friends at Brevard Middle School who are, there's quite a few people taking on an extra section of social studies this year. And if you're looking for resources, it's a great place to pull from. If you want to introduce a new topic like the Civil War or the Revolutionary War, you can generate a text with the activities on those topics. You can combine current events. So you can get articles like PDFs or a link of a current event and align them to a standard. That would be really cool to do. And then there's also some really fun examples of how people have taken a primary source, especially one that's like really dense, like the Gettysburg Address or the Declaration of Independence. And I was playing around with this today, and you can just paste it into that literally anything box on your landing page and level it to any grade level you want. So I did take the declaration, like the preamble of the Declaration of Independence, and I copy pasted it into Diffit. And I'm not going to open this now for sake of time, but it will give you an easily accessible to read version of it. And it really did work. I wanted to make sure it worked. Same thing for ELA. There are tons of opportunities in ELA. You can create passages that align with reading standards. It's really great that you have fiction and informational text options. You can use Diffit for independent reading, homework, small group work, I&E. You can really target exactly where your readers are with all the different options it has. And I do want to piggyback off of Alicia about the novel studies. If you know you're an ELA teacher and you are looking for a unit on a specific novel, I would definitely take advantage of that 60-day free trial. I did a quick excerpt from Hamlet. I used to teach Hamlet. To Be or Not to Be is such a tough soliloquy, so I copy pasted it into Diffit at a 5th grade level, and it did a great job of capturing exactly what Hamlet was saying, but in a way that was accessible to everyone. And so I feel like Diffit's a really great tool for all ages. It's definitely appropriate for the elementary classroom up through high school. There's some fun stuff you can do with vocabulary. I work with a small group of 2nd graders. I took their CKLA unit vocabulary. I dumped it in Diffit. It gave me a story that had all those words in it that we read together. And then we also had the multiple choice and the discussion questions and the vocabulary to look at afterwards. So it was a great grab and go resource. And I could target it specifically to the needs of my group. For sake of time, I'm going to speed up here to the end. Diffit can be great in the arts classroom too. There is a beta version for math. So math people, we're not leaving you out. They are working on creating a math for Diffit that will create standard-based word problems. You can print out worksheets, you can translate language, and then you can adjust your problems by depth of knowledge level. This is a snapshot of the free versus the premium version. The premium version is super cool, it's super convenient, but just like Alicia, I really want to stress that the free version gives you everything you need to quickly grab good quality resources and very quickly and easily differentiate for your students. And we will skip over that. I encourage you all to try this out when you do get a chance. I know we're out of time today. We've got like 1 minute left, but we want you to create something in Diffit, share it with us, and then also we're going to have your exit ticket on the next slide. You can upload what you make in that exit ticket, or you can just email it to one of us or the email address you see up here on the screen. So when you get started with Diffit, you can put in something that you already use, or you can and create 2 versions, or you can ask Diffit to create something for you. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to end right on time. We got through everything, which is awesome. Please be sure to fill out your exit ticket before you go to ensure that you get CEUs. And if you guys have any questions, Alicia and I can hang out for a minute and answer any of those questions for you. But again, thanks again for joining us today. Thanks for coming, Tammy. Anyone got any final questions for us? Okay. Well, please feel free to reach out to us and to your EdTech coach if you have any more follow-up questions. And again, thanks for joining us. Hope you guys have a good day.
Bye.